Hey 143 fam, I'm Antonia. Thank you for being here. We are going to take a look at love for the second half of the month in just a minute. But first, for those of you who would like to be considered for a free reading this month, make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment below your video, and I will alert winners on Instagram and on Twitter at the very end of the month. If you don't have Instagram or Twitter, just Google me at UrbanSoulGuru and I will come up. My profile is public, so you won't have an issue finding that information there. For those of you who do have Instagram, catch me every Friday this month in celebration of reaching 10,000 subscribers last month. I am doing a little giveaway each Friday where you get to ask me one free question. I choose a handful of winners. It's been a lot of fun. So make sure you follow me at UrbanSoulGuru. Now let's take a look at love for the second half of September. Hey Cancer, this reading is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising in Love, September 15th through the end of the month. Cancer in Love, September 15th through the end of the month. Cancer in Love, September 15th through the end of the month. Cancer, I'm feeling... For some of you who've gone through separations recently, you are either ready or you have already jumped into a new relationship. I see you guys jumping from one relationship to another, but this new relationship feels like a breath of fresh air. This really feels like uncharted territory and experience you haven't had before. This may get intense over the next couple of weeks. Slow down a little bit. Slow down a little bit. You may be ready to commit to somebody like day one of a relationship. There is love there. There's definitely some intense soulmate energy in the mix, but you may miss some red flags if you commit to somebody new right off the bat. Okay, take your time with this. For the majority of you, this is a really solid partner, but you need more time. Okay, so let's get a little bit more clarity here. Cancer in Love, September 15th. Ooh, of course, your cards are flying right off the bat. Let me get this for you, Cancer. Okay, this is an intense message, hence flying across the room. First card out, pay attention to red flags. This is why you need to take your time, okay? Soulmate energy in this, for sure. And some of you are about to have the time of your life with a new partner or are having the time of your life with a new partner, but there's something you're missing. It feels like there's something on the outside of you or on the outside or outside of a new partner, like something a little bit deceptive. And it's not necessarily that you or the partner is being deceptive, an ex being deceptive, jealous friends, jealous family. There's something that you're going to overlook this month if you jump into commitment too soon, okay? I have honeymoon at the center. Enjoy your honeymoon phase. You're not the only sign getting this. Enjoy the honeymoon phase if you're in a new relationship, okay? For those of you in committed relationships, it feels like you need time away with one another to rekindle love and passion. It does feel like you have some deceitful people around you, and it feels like more than one person. For those of you in committed relationships, you know, Cancer, this feels a lot like jealousy. It feels like, but it's more than jealousy. I'm getting judgment. It's like somebody, maybe a parent, doesn't approve of this union for very superficial reasons. Like, it's just not an evolved reason why they don't approve of a relationship. You guys need a break. You just need a break from that kind of energy. So it's not deceit coming from you or the partner, but there's somebody close to you, and it's creating some sort of stress. It feels like there's a partner who's feeling really uncomfortable because of this. On a smaller scale, this feels like a young person, or at least somebody acting very young, but it feels like there could be an ex coming through, maybe harassing a new partner. Obviously, that stems from some jealousy and some control issues, but it feels like a lot of immaturity coming from maybe an ex. You need to feel out whether you can handle this dynamic. This could be a little too intense for some of you. Even though it's a soulmate relationship, it's a really beautiful soul. The circumstances around it may be a little bit challenging. And not all of you are going to want to stay in this. Some of you will. Some of you will find that the soulmate partner is absolutely worthwhile to stick it out with, and you're going to travel, or you're just going to distance yourself from any of that drama or negativity. And you guys will be stronger because of it, you know? But you do need some distance from whatever this is, if you're in a long-term relationship or even a new relationship, but this is already creeping up. But especially for those of you in committed relationships, it just feels like something's getting intense because of somebody on the outside of the relationship, okay? It could also be getting a little intense too because of finances. It feels like finances are causing a little bit of worry, or somebody's working a little too much. It feels like somebody could be traveling too for work. Okay, Cancer, this comes through as like a small percentage, but I'm feeling it, so I'm going to tell you. It does feel like somebody traveling for work, maybe doing something that you wouldn't approve of, okay? Very, 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 very small percentage. This message is not for the majority of you. But if your intuition is telling you that something's off, like they may be traveling and maybe they constantly go back to that same city or that same town, you may be dealing with a partner who met somebody else in that city or that town that they're constantly going back to. I do see somebody possibly saying they're traveling for work and it's not really work related. If you're picking that up, if you have some serious concerns around that, okay, just don't brush that off. But again, it's for a very, very small percentage, so I don't want the majority of you out there like sweating this. If this is the case, you have already picked up signs. If this is the case, you've already felt this. This is not something that will come to light over the next 2 weeks, okay? If you're not feeling this coming into the next 2 weeks, that message does not apply to you. Okay, for those of you struggling with a partner who may not be doing what they are saying they're doing when they travel for work or something work-related, feels like you have some pretty supportive friends around you. Talk to people that you trust. Talk to people about this. It feels like maybe a friend, one friend that you know won't discuss any of this with anybody else, is somebody who really has your best interest at heart. Reach out to friends right now. But I'm also going to put this out there. What feels like more of a majority message here, it says, pay attention to the red flags around friends, friendships, and family right now. Who's having a hard time seeing you happy? Who's having a hard time watching you move on? Who doesn't approve of something for superficial reasons? Like, what is it? Somebody's not making enough money, and so your best friend doesn't approve of them, or family member, different backgrounds, different religions. Don't allow other people's judgment to interfere with your relationship over the course of the next 2 weeks. Because it feels like for so many of you, especially if you've called somebody new in, this feels like a really solid partner, okay? I do feel like it could also be somebody you have some serious distance with. Maybe you met on a work trip, or they met you while they were traveling for work, and there's some serious distance there, some physical distance there. It could make this challenging. Again, before you commit, make sure you guys can handle this long term. It's a lot of money to be in a long distance relationship if you still want to see each other. It's a lot of time involved being on the phone. Make sure you can handle this, okay? But it does feel like there's some serious love coming through. Heart-to-heart conversations, clarifying, honeymoon at the center. I do think many of you are on the phone having very long conversations with somebody who you're in a long-distance relationship with. For some of you, you need to have conversations around somebody traveling too much if you're picking up on red flags. But the majority message here is that you need to reconnect. You need to reconnect and talk to partners. If you can travel, if you can retreat, if you can get out of environments that feel a little judgy right now, away from those kinds of people, you guys are going to have a really beautiful time. You'll have a beautiful vacation, a beautiful retreat. This may not even speak to like a physical vacation, but it's tuning people out. It's turning phones off. It's very consciously stepping away from those kinds of judgy environments. It does feel like somebody's working a lot. This could be you, Cancer. And a partner could just be missing you. Because it feels like a lot of love comes through here. So I do think some of the heavier messages really pertains to people outside of their relationship, okay? We have finances and career, forgiving and learning. I really think there's been some stress around money. Learning to have a better relationship with money. That's going to help your relationship tenfold, okay? I see you guys saving a little bit. I see you maybe working a little bit less, but being a little bit better around saving money. And you may be having that conversation with the partner, like, look, if I'm going to take time away from work, then I'm going to be making a little bit less money, and where can we cut back? It feels like for those of you in long-term commitments, they're going to be okay with this. You'll have a supportive partner, but it feels like somebody needs to potentially forgive or heal a situation around finances and career, okay? There does feel like some karmic element showing up. For some of you, look, you may have had this experience with an ex where somebody was doing something for work and they were traveling and they were not being faithful. Please recognize for some of you that insecurity is coming up when another partner is traveling or is working long hours and you're feeling a little triggered, but it's not because your current partner is actually doing anything wrong. Okay, some lines may be blurred a little bit. You may be dealing with Aquarius. Aquarius is dealing with this pretty hardcore right now too. You just may need to heal that past trauma. It's not necessarily about a current partner doing anything wrong. Some of that deception could just be lingering. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Crowning your reading is release the ex. I really think some of this deceptive energy, some of these harder messages, it's like leftover trauma. It's leftover grief from an ex and somebody who wasn't trustworthy. The new partner is not them. This is a brand new partner, a brand new experience here, okay? Don't hold somebody accountable for what an ex did to you in the past. You can trust this person, it feels like. If you're in the beginning stages of a relationship, or even if you're single and starting now to call some new people in, pay attention to calling people in who have some trust issues too, because this may not necessarily be your energy, Cancer. This could be an experience you're having with the partner. This could be your partner showing up and not really trusting you because you're working so much and because you're traveling and it's triggering something in them. But you're going to have that conversation. That's not me. You need to let that go. You need to heal that. And you can do it with compassion, as I know that you will. This does feel a little challenging. Wow. But look at this, okay? But there's still the soulmate energy. I really think you guys are dealing with Aquarius. Or you may have Aquarius in your chart as well. Your partner does. I mean, this is very similar to Aquarius's reading. This is a soulmate. Soulmates are going to bring up issues that still need to be healed. Soulmates show up with lessons for us to learn. What can you leave in the past? What red flags did you see with old partners that are not showing up with a new partner who's traveling all the time? Okay? I really think for some of you, and probably the majority of you, where some of these heavier messages are showing up, this has to do with needing to cut cords. This has to do with cleansing ex energy. The new one is not this. Okay? You went from this to a higher vibing partner, okay? But just don't rush anything. You want to make sure, especially if you're in beginning stages of a relationship, you do need to take your time with this, okay? And you just need to give yourself the opportunity to heal. Whether you've been in a relationship for a long time, whether you're single right now, take out some time to heal. Take some time to heal, okay? So that you can cleanse these kinds of energies. If something is resurfacing, some old karma, some old insecurity, just deal with it over the next couple of weeks because you will get that healing. But it does feel like at the core you have a supportive partner and they will be very receptive and very positive in regards to communicating about this. But make sure you communicate with your partner, okay? Don't just like bury some of the insecurity because you're afraid that if you tell them, look, you know, you're traveling a lot for work and I don't hear from you as often as I would like. And so now I'm wondering if something from my past could now be repeating with you. Don't be afraid to have those kinds of conversations. Your partners are going to want to know that. They're going to want to resolve that, not for you, but with you. And again, I think if your partner's having that experience and they say that to you, it feels like you will naturally extend a lot of compassion. You're not going to tolerate being treated by like the ex or being held accountable because somebody did something wrong in the past. But it does feel like you'll be compassionate. And it does feel like there's healing here. Okay, there's a whole lot of soulmate energy. And I think some of that soulmate energy is bringing up some very important yet challenging issues. Work through it over the next couple of weeks. And you will go into October like smooth sailing. Okay, you'll get past this. You're going to get back to this really fun, loving, attractive energy. Look at this, bottom of the deck. We have soulmate. We have this attractive, what is my camera doing? We have this beautiful attraction and attractive energy. trust, okay? This person does feel trustworthy. It just feels like some lines are being blurred. Something's being confused because of a past experience, and someone's feeling a little triggered right now. Okay, Cancer, you guys are good. You guys are good. There's healing here. There's healing, and you can avoid having this challenging karmic stuff coming up if you're single by dealing with it first before you put yourself out there to meet new partners. Okay, if you do recognize that this is coming up for you, deal with it first. Get that inner healing, that inner child healing done. That way, you just skip right to this. Okay, you start attracting people that are much higher vibing, and you don't necessarily have to go through the ringer at the beginning of a relationship with somebody to resolve this karmic stuff. You have already done that work, okay? And it will be a little bit more peaceful. But for those of you, again, in relationships, whether it's long-term or you just met somebody new, there's resolution here. Just be honest about your feelings, okay? You don't have to hold back. It does feel like a partner who really wants to know where you're at, and they really want to make sure that you are feeling safe in the relationship, that you know that you can trust them. For the majority of you, you're with a really, really solid one, okay? A really solid and compatible partner at this time. Cancer, if you feel like you need more clarity, especially if this gets a little bit more challenging over the next couple of weeks, reach out to me. I'm available for private readings. I am available for energy healing work, which I think you guys know that I specialize in. Energy healing is my bread and butter. I'm a shaman. I'm a Reiki master teacher. Don't hesitate to reach out if you feel like you need some help, okay? But in the meantime, I'm sending you so much love, light, gratitude. I'll see you guys back here October 1st. Ciao.